Okay, before we get into the main topic of the video, I need to talk about this. The official pronunciation is Kingdom Hearts 358 Days over 2. I don't know why it is, but it is. Just listen to this old commercial for the game.
Kingdom Hearts 358 Days over 2.
I don't even know why I'm telling you any of this, because I'm just going to refer to the game as Days for the rest of the video. So for those of you who don't know, Kingdom Hearts 358 Days over 2 is a game for the Nintendo DS that essentially acts as the fourth installment of the Kingdom Hearts series. It acts as a direct prequel to Kingdom Hearts 2 and leads directly into the events of that game. Keep in mind, I said prequel. While Kingdom Hearts 2 released in 2005 in Japan, Days released in 2009, a whole 4 years later. I honestly would love to make a general analysis video about Days and its story, but honestly, I would just watch King K's video if you want that. He does a better job than I ever could. What I want to do instead is analyze the narrative of Days in relation to KH2. Now, Days came out after KH2, so you would assume you can just play it after playing KH2, right? Wrong! If you look at the official Square Enix website where they have an official play order for the KH series, they have Days listed before KH2. Now, this is partially because the most accessible way to play these games is Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 plus 2.5 Remix, a compilation of Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 Remix and Kingdom Hearts HD 2.5 Remix. The original 1.5 remix contained Kingdom Hearts Final Mix, Kingdom Hearts Re-Chain of Memories, and Kingdom Hearts 358 Days over 2. Can you tell I'm getting tired of saying these titles? Days was only available as a cutscene movie and is listed after Re-Chain of Memories, so naturally, 1.5 plus 2.5 placed it in between Recom and KH2. Makes sense, right? Well, yes and no. You see, Days was released after KH2, so the story is designed in a way where you are expected to be familiar with the events of KH2. Now, you don't need to know what happens in KH2 to understand Days, but you can tell it was designed as a prequel to KH2 and not as a sequel to Chain of Memories. The game never explains what nobodies are, despite them being pretty integral to the plot, and certain plot details from KH2 do get spoiled if you play Days first. So what order should you play them in? This is gonna be a weird video. I originally wanted this video to be accessible to people who haven't played these games, but to be honest, that was pretty much impossible to do in the format I intended. Even trying to keep things as vague as possible, you could insinuate a lot of stuff. The first script was bad, just trust me. I don't know if this is much better, but whatever. If you're not interested in spoilers, skip to my conclusion where I kept things spoiler free and I hit upon most of my talking points well enough there, I'd say. This video is going to be split into two sections. I'm going to go through what it's like to play Days before KH2, and vice versa. With all of that out of the way, let's begin our journey.
I want that twink obliterated.
Twink? It's 2006. You just picked up a copy of Kingdom Hearts 2 for the PS2. You played Chain of Memories back when it came out and are eager to see how the story continues. You pop it in and... Wait, who's this guy? He's been having dreams about Sora, I guess? Okay, I guess this is Roxas. Weird name. Okay, we're going around the neighborhood, doing tutorials, looking for clues. Okay, but where's Sora? Wait, this guy can wield a Keyblade? Okay, I recognize this guy at least. God, now we're doing manual labor? When do we get to the good stuff? Hey, I know this guy. I guess he knows Roxas? Okay, but I don't really care about Roxas. When do we get to play as Sora? Wait, we're in a simulation? Roxas is Sora's other half or something? Oh, I guess he's dead now. Finally, the tutorializing is over and we can play as Sora. Gameplay's a massive step up from the first game. What was all that Roxas stuff about? I guess it must be important since the other organization members keep mentioning him. And Axel is just doing his own thing, I guess. Honestly, Sora seems like he's just as confused as we are. Yensid tells us about these guys called nobodies. When the heartless claim your heart, the body's left behind as a nobody. Wait, was Roxas Sora's nobody? We're at the end game now and... Oh shit, did Axel just die to protect us? Does that mean Roxas is Sora's nobody? Did he just die to protect his former friend? And now Roxas is fighting Sora? What is going on? Hey, we're learning more about Roxas. Took long enough, I guess. And he really is Sora's nobody. God, I feel bad for this guy now. Why did I even dislike this guy so much in the beginning? Am I an asshole? I mean, he just wanted to live a normal life. What's so wrong about that? Oh, hey, the game's over. It's 2009. You just picked up a copy of Kingdom Hearts 358 Days Over 2 for the Nintendo DS. It's a game starring Roxas, that one guy from KH2. That's kinda cool. Maybe we get to learn more about this guy and what he's been through. Gameplay is a bit clunky, but it's a 3D DS game. That's expected. We get to watch Roxas throughout his life in the organization, meet all these people, make new friends like Axel and Xion, but Xion isn't in KH2. What's her deal? How are they gonna explain that? Wait, she's actually a really cute and compelling character, but we know this can't last. We've played KH2. We know what happens to these characters and where they end up. We know Roxas ends up reuniting with Sora, and we know Axel will die to protect his friend. There's this looming sense of dread hanging over the entire game. The tragedy is coming. You can't escape it. All you can do is drive these characters forward towards their inevitable fates. But even still, you can't help but get attached to these guys. It's 2013. You just picked up a copy of Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 Remix. Weird title, but it has the first few games in the series, and you've been curious about getting into it. You play through KH1, you play through Recom, and now you've reached Days. Maybe you just watched a cutscene movie, maybe you played the DS version. I don't know, and I'm not gonna get into the nitty-gritty right now about which one is better. A video for another time, perhaps. Regardless, you're experiencing Days next. Okay, it looks like this game revolves around a new character. Roxas, huh? Weird name. Hey, wait, aren't these the black coat guys in the last game? Yeah, there's Axel, Larxene, Vex, and even Marluxia. I guess this is a prequel? Cool that we get to learn more about these guys. Gameplay feels pretty similar to KH1. Nice return to form after all the card stuff. Wow, Roxas is actually a pretty compelling character. I wonder what his connection to Sora is. Why does he keep dreaming about him? Where's this gonna go? It's pretty interesting how they're humanizing what were just straight up bad guys before this. Well, mainly Axel. He ends up falling into the role of an older brother figure for Roxas and Xion. It's super cute. And hey, Xion's another fun character. I really feel for her, and her friendship with Roxas is super charming. Oh god, wait, Xion's a clone? And Axel knew all along? And he knows what Roxas' connection to Sora is? What else hasn't he been telling us? And now Roxas and Xion have to fight to the death? God damn it, Axel. You know, maybe if you told us what was going on sooner, we could have at least partially avoided this? Xion's gone. Axel's being a hard ass. Roxas has nothing left. Xion's dying request is to set Kingdom Hearts free from Xemnas' control. Roxas gets his ass beat by Riku after he taps into his dark powers and takes the form of Ansem. Roxas wakes up in Twilight Town? Wait, was that whole thing a dream? What the hell was that? It's 2014. You just picked up a copy of Kingdom Hearts HD 2.5 Remix. You got really into the story in the last few games, and now you're pumped to see how it continues in KH2. Hey, Roxas is back! What was the deal with the ending of the last game? Roxas seems to be living a pretty normal life here, as if nothing happened. Still having dreams about Sora, though. Aha! Axel's back, so all of that really did happen. Wait, we're in a simulation? Roxas had fake memories implanted to him? God, he's being traumatized all over again! In the end, Roxas can't fight off his destiny, and is forced to reunite with Sora so that he can be recompleted. I mean, I'm happy Sora's back, but what about Roxas? Clearly the game doesn't want you to forget what happened to him, since other characters still reference him from time to time. Axel even makes a sacrifice play to save Sora towards the end of the game because he sees Roxas in him. It's honestly devastating. Watching Sora look for Riku and not even realizing he's right in front of him because he looks like Ansem is pretty brutal to watch. And when Sora does learn about Roxas and reunite with Riku, it's incredibly cathartic to watch him realize everything that the audience has known all along. So what did we learn from this little thought experiment? Should you play Days before KH2? Well, really that's gonna be a matter of opinion, but for me, the answer is definitely yes. Kingdom Hearts 2 deliberately sets out to confuse the player with its opening. It introduces a ton of new characters and concepts to you with very little explanation, and makes you wish you could just go back to the familiarity of running around with Sora and friends. Sora is pretty much just as in the dark about what's really going on with Roxas and Organization 13 as the player is for most of the game. When you reach the end of the game and everything you thought you knew about Roxas is recontextualized, it makes you feel bad for just wanting to hurry up and get back to playing as Sora back in the beginning. This means when playing Days afterwards, as was originally intended, Days really succeeds as an expansion of some of the lore established in KH2, and as a story where there's a certain melancholy in knowing from the start how it all ends. Personally, however, I think Days makes Roxas' story in KH2 far more compelling, and overall strengthens KH2's narrative greatly. We don't get to see much of what Roxas was like as a person during his time in the organization. Sure, we get a decent idea of what he's like during the opening, but it's still not much to go off in terms of defining his personality and goals. When you know where Roxas has come from and everything he's been through, however, it makes his actions during KH2 far more compelling. Same goes for Axel, as he had little characterization and calm beyond being a cool villain with potentially ulterior motives. Plus, the opening of KH2 still feels mysterious and confusing, even with the context of Days, since it's not very clear from that game's ending how Roxas got to where he is at the start of KH2. The mystery goes from who are you people to what happened to Roxas. Placing Days before KH2 even makes more sense when tracking the gameplay evolution of the series. Days is the only one of the portable titles released between 2 and 3 that did not use the command deck system. It's much closer to KH1's gameplay and level design style, but with a few tweaks like the panel system. Days just makes more sense as a stepping stone between the gameplay styles of 1 and 2. Of course though, that's just my opinion. Ultimately, the decision is yours for how you want to tackle these games. I'm just rather passionate about the topic and needed an excuse to talk about it. If you have a problem with it, then you can leave a comment on the video about why I'm wrong and why I should feel bad about being wrong. Okay, bye, I guess.